Hi, you're listening to Book Chat with author Vivian E. Moore.
Welcome, everybody, to this week's episode. We really appreciate you joining us. This podcast really shows us how we can all learn, live, and thrive off of each other. By sharing our knowledge through our conversations, we will impart some knowledge whilst learning ourselves how to progress even further. Here is your host.
Hello and welcome to Book Chat. I am your host, author Vivian E. Moore. I hope everyone had a great week and I hope you had an even better weekend. All right, so I am not going to keep you for too long today. So we're going to keep it short and sweet, and I don't have a whole lot to say, but I have a lot to say, if that makes any sense. All right, so let's get straight to today's show. The title of today's show is simply Thank You, and the topic is why it's important to say thank you. Just as we shouldn't wait for special occasions to tell our loved ones and friends how we feel, and I always say that at the end of the show, how we feel about them, the same applies to holidays and any other day. Not only is saying thank you good manners, but it is also a powerful statement, acknowledging appreciation, and it shows gratefulness and respect. Not doing so would be rude. And my mother, if she was still alive, bless her heart, she would chastise me for not doing so. That was something that was instilled in us as children. You always say thank you. Yes, ma'am. No, sir. And please. Those were things that, my mother, once she gave us the law of the land, it wasn't something that she had to, every time she turned around, she had to correct us, with the proper etiquettes, because that was something that first and foremost she taught us that you must do. And it started with our parents, to be respectful to them, because once you learn how to be respectful at home, you don't have to worry about your children going outside being disrespectful, because once they're taught that, you say thank you and please and, and all of those things, it becomes repetitive. So they automatically do it. It's like second nature, like breathing and thinking. Those were things that, that once you were taught to do them, you just did them automatically. And so, my mother has no worries about that because she taught me well. And since Thanksgiving is next week, I wanted to list a few things that I'm thankful for as well. And the main thing is saying thanks to God for blessing me to do the show, first and foremost, and then to you, the audience. It is because of your participation and weekly downloads that keeps the show going, but also it inspires me to bring something fresh each week. It keeps me on my game because I know I need to bring something that is interesting. And I know that the show is only 15 minutes, but still, if you don't come with your A game, you lose listeners within those first few minutes. So I want to make sure that I continue to do what I'm doing. And so in order for me to do that, I have to say thank you. If I haven't said it already, I'm saying it now. Okay? Thank you so very much, because that it means so much to me. And, and it allows me to discuss poignant and relevant topics that inspire new authors and readers. So, just that simple word, those two simple words, thank you, they are so powerful and impactful. And because you care enough to listen, it shows that my efforts aren't in vain. And that allows me to make a difference in another artist's life, because that's the purpose of the show, to inspire, to make connections, to let other authors tell you about what they're doing. And, it's just, to me, it's just a grace thing. And to share what I've learned, what I've gained, and to give that same opportunity to others. So that's the purpose of Book Chat, is to inspire, uplift, and educate, because there are times when there are teachable moments. So, that's what I'm all about. But anyway, I am so grateful for your trusting me with the important information that I share each week. It may not seem like it's a lot, but it is, and it means a lot to me that you allow me to do that. That you each week, you do the downloads. That lets me know that you like what I'm doing, that you appreciate what I'm doing, and I appreciate you so very much as well. So it's a win-win, okay? And thank you for being there and sharing on social media. Those that do that on a weekly basis, you know who you are. And I just appreciate them so much for doing that for me, because they don't have to do it, but they do it. And I appreciate that, because they want to share what I'm doing with other folks, and that is so important. And I thank you for all of my triumphs and strides with Book Chat over the last 3 years. Even though it may sometimes and I'm not being trying to be pretentious or anything else, but sometimes it seems like the topics come easy, but a lot of times they don't come easy. I really have to think about it and pray about it in order to bring something that maybe I have done it before, but I'm bringing it to you, with a different flavor, in a new direction. Because when you're talking about books, when you're dealing with writing, sometimes it helps to be repetitive. Just putting it out there, and but putting it out there in a different way, in a way that you haven't heard it before, or maybe hadn't been explained to you that way before. But no matter how many times you hear it, it sometimes, maybe the first few times you hear it, it doesn't stick with you. But if you hear it enough, it starts to resonate within you, and then you learn something, and then you can share that with someone else so they can learn as well. And and I look forward to continuing this ministry in the months to come, that nurtures hope for a bright future and partnership with you. That means so much to me, to be able to do that, to maintain this partnership with you, the audience, because if you weren't listening, if you weren't downloading this show every week, then me doing it would just be pointless. So I thank you for that, for giving me a reason to get on this, to get on the airways every single Saturday, and to share what I have to say. I appreciate that, and I would be remiss if I didn't thank all the guests who always bring life to the show and graciously give their time and talent. Over the past 3 years, I've had many guests on the show, and each one, they give back. Not only do they give back, but they inspire me, and I hope that in a way that I'm inspiring them as well. And I thank them so much for they have busy lives, but they take time out of their lives to give me 15, 30, 45 minutes, however long it takes, to do the interview. I thank them for being patient and for allowing me to to ask them questions, and for their patience in trying to give the best answers, because they want to be impactful in what they say to the audience, and I thank them for that. For actually thinking about what they want to say and putting their best foot forward. That means a lot. And thank you to my family and friends who encourage me to achieve my dreams and to do what I love. Your support means everything to me. I do so much appreciate my family, my children, my grandchildren, who, they just, they love me, yes, but, to hear them say, I love that, and that's good, that's great, those things, the words are small, but they have so much of a major impact. You just don't know how life-changing that can be for someone. And I do appreciate it so very much. And thank you from my whole heart. Thank you so very much. And I just want to say, since, again, Thanksgiving is next week, and so with it being Thanksgiving next week, that sort of flows into the weekend for that, that entire holiday weekend. So that means that Book Chat will not be on next Saturday. So I wanted to make sure that I told you that, so you wouldn't be waiting for it to come on at the usual time of 6. But I do want to say happy Thanksgiving to everyone, and I hope your holiday is filled with family, love, great food, and hope. And if you can, try not to overeat. I'm telling myself this as well, because it's sort of hard to do, sort of hard not to overeat, especially when there's so much food on the table, and it's delicious, and your family is with you. And it's a holiday meant to enjoy. So if that includes overeating, go for it. All right. So that pretty much is the show for today. I just wanted to take a little time to say thank you, and because that's important to me to say that, and it shouldn't have taken 11 months out of the year to do that, but. And I try to do it every week. And like I said, if I haven't done it, or if I don't do it enough, please let me know. But, with it being Thanksgiving and everything, I felt as though this was the perfect time to say thank you, because that's what Thanksgiving is about. It's about the things that we're thankful for in our lives the most. And you guys are on that list. All right. So before I let you go, I want to make sure that I give you these URLs, because that's equally important. All right, so of course the first one is to Spreaker, and that is at https://www.spreaker.com/user/author Vivian E. Moore. You can follow me across all social media, which includes Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And also, if you want to check out my website, you're more than welcome to do that. That is at authorvivianemore.com. and authorehshepard.com. You can also check out my blog site, which is at https://vivianemore.blogspot.com. All right. And next week, if you are inclined to do so, if you're not too busy with the Black Friday shopping, and then that will extend over into the weekend, you can listen to recorded versions of the show. You can listen to it on Spreaker, and anywhere podcast or offered, you can listen to the show. All right. I always try to help you out by just, throwing some out there for you. But of course, you can listen to it on Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Castbox, Deezer. Those are 2 different podcast stations. Okay. Podcast Addict, Podchaser, YouTube, SoundCloud, JioSaven, iTunes, Audible.com, Verbal, Luminary, and Amazon. So those are some of the places where you can listen to the show. And I hope you will tune in next week, although it won't be a live show, but there's so many different episodes that have been recorded that you can listen to if you just want to take a little time out of your holiday and listen to it. I would appreciate it greatly if you did that. But if you don't, I understand. All right, so tomorrow is worship day. Every day is worship day, but it's Sunday tomorrow. And I hope that you're staying warm, because the weather, it has been more like winter than fall. But today was just absolutely beautiful. If you had the opportunity to go out and do a little shopping, I did. And we did our my sister and I did our Thanksgiving Day shopping, and maybe a little extra on the side. But when in Rome. But invite your family and your friends and your neighbors to come out and worship with you, or if they are still skittish about going out in public, or being inside of buildings where there are a lot of people. Just remember that COVID is still here. It hasn't gone anywhere. But not only COVID, the flu, which seems to be worse this year than COVID. So just be careful Keep your distance, wear your mask, if you don't feel safe enough to go in without one, but, just be safe and try not to sit too close to people. And, if you have to touch anything, just make sure that you sanitize your hands. Okay, I shouldn't have to tell you that, but, just to reinforce what we should be doing so we can not get sick, okay? Because no one wants to be sick for Thanksgiving, because you want to be able to eat all that good food. And, and as I said at the beginning of the show, always, don't wait until, a better time to tell the ones that you care about the most how you feel about them, because tomorrow is not promised. Today may be the only chance you get to say that. So on that note, I love you. I hope you love me back. Until the next time you hear my voice, God bless you and goodbye.
Loved what you've heard on this week's episode? Well, the answer is simple. It would mean the world to us if you could head over to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review and feedback. Spreading the word really is the best way to grow our podcast and achieve even greater things. Thank you.